I can't do it.
Muchos hemos escuchado de Jafco, una ONG que se encarga de ayudar y cuidar a niños judíos huérfanos y también de ayudar a familias abusadas en necesidad de protección, pero poco sabemos de la excelente labor comunitaria que llevan a cabo. Hoy me encuentro con Lauren Faith, una de sus directoras, quien nos va a explicar en detalle la maravillosa labor que por décadas han llevado a cabo. Hi Lauren, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I would like to know what is exactly Jafco and what is its mission?
Okay, so Jafco is an amazing organization right here in our community who look after and care for abused and neglected children, and they also help families. They help families to stay together. I mean, we just don't think that there are children in our community that are in this sort of a position, and there are, unfortunately. And more and more that they've found over the years, they've been going for a long time now, 30 plus years, they found that there were children who needed help and families who needed help, but there just weren't the Jewish families available to adopt and for foster care. So they stepped in and they decided that the children who went into the system were going to lose their Jewish identity. So that's where it all began. They really wanted them to be able to keep their Jewish identity, but it's grown to be so much more since then.
I know it varies year through year, but how many children in average do you think Jafco has right now, or families that they help throughout the year?
I mean, the group homes can keep, I think it's up to about 60 children at a time, maybe more, and that's long term. Short term, it's any child in the middle of the night who would go into Child Protective Services. They can go to the Jafco Group Centre and they will be, it's like an emergency shelter, and they will be helped from that moment, and they can stay there for 6 weeks, and it can be whole families of children, all the siblings. They really try to keep all the siblings together, and they just give them everything that they need from the moment that they are taken away from the situation. And they often arrive in the middle of the night with a bag, a trash bag full of just their few possessions. And then they can stay there for up to 6 weeks whilst everything becomes a little bit more organized and settled, and then they see where they need to go from there.
So I understand you not only have one center for those that are orphans, but you do have different centers that provide different kind of help.
Yes.
Can you tell us briefly about those different centers?
So there is the group villages, which homes children for, I mean, it can be forever, from the moment of birth through till they're 18 and beyond. They will live there as if that is their home, and they are cared for, and they are put through school and put through college and have every Shabbat and every, and these children are raised as if the other children are their brothers and sisters. This is their family. Then there are children who come in for a short period and need some immediate help, and that's the emergency shelter. Then we have the Children's Ability Center, which is there to help anybody with disabilities or unique abilities, as they're called, anybody who is on the spectrum, the families of those children, the siblings of those children, the grandparents, everybody is affected. Sometimes there are parents who've not been able to go out on a date since that birth of their child, and
Correct.
They know that they can have up to 2 weeks of respite a year, like overnight care, that the children can go to day camp there, that they can have lessons there after school, and it just gives them this extra resource, and it's the most amazing place. Then there's Eagles Haven, which is a mental wellness facility that was set up after the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shootings, and that is really there to help that community to deal with the long-term effects of the school shooting and what came afterwards. And it's just, they also do a lot of outreach into the community. They're there for people. There are families who want to adopt. There are families also that find themselves in trouble financially. There are families who, without Jafco's intervention out within the community, that would find that they would have to be separated from their kids. But when Jafco steps in, we avoid that happening.
Any idea on how many children in a year get adopted?
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you on that.
Okay,
I
we'll
will get you the
research on
numbers.
that. But it's very interesting. We never
Sure.
think about Jewish children being on the need to be adopted.
And there are.
And I find that this is just wonderful, the mission that you have. Is Jafco only here in Florida or is across the country or nation level?
So this is the only facility of its kind in the country. There are other facilities that are looking to model Jafco, but at the moment we are the only one like this. And it works. I mean,
for how many years has Jafco been operating?
I believe it's something coming up to about 35. It's over 30.
35 years helping Jewish families and Jewish
community.
Children in this community. That is remarkable. I understand there is a huge event coming up right now where everybody that is listening to us right now can help. And this becomes the biggest fundraising that you have throughout the year. So please explain people how can they help and what it's about, because it's very, very exciting.
So I'm the president of the Aventura chapter. We have an amazing group of women, and we're lucky that Rochelle has agreed to join us this year. And we basically put on every year a few events, but our biggest event of the year is our Hanukkah Miracles Luncheon, which is coming up on November 21st.
November 21st, Hanukkah
Miracles Luncheon.
Okay.
And it's going to be at the Diplomat in Hollywood, the hotel. And we have about 500 plus women that gather. We listen to amazing stories about the good things that Jafco does in the community, how you can help. We look for people to come, to join, to pledge, to be able to, you know, I always say it's like a tiny, you throw a stone and it hits the pond and it's the ripple effect that happens afterwards. You just don't know who's going to be listening, who needs some help, who can give some help financially and of their time, and spreading the word about Jafco. And that's what my mission is, to spread the word about Jafco.
And this is part of the idea of doing this interview, because every time we're more Latinos living in this community and we want everyone to get involved. Sometimes it's just misinformation that people don't even know that such a great and nice organization is there and we can all help.
100%.
So thank you so much, Lauren, for being with us. Y a todos ustedes estén súper pendientes porque en las próximas semanas estaré visitando los 3 centros de ayuda que Jafco tiene aquí localmente en el estado de la Florida. Y adicionalmente a todas mis tiendas aliadas y a todos mis amigos estén súper pendientes porque los voy a contactar para que juntos podamos apoyar y ayudar esta gran misión que lleva a cabo Jafco por toda nuestra comunidad. Thank you so much. Gracias. Can you repeat that? Okay, I love it.